Hit the streets with the O'Fallon Police Department's award-winning K9 team. Learn how you can give back to your community and take a trip to O'Fallon's Information Hub. Next on O'Fallon Matters. Hi, I'm Dave Burkhart, your host for O'Fallon Matters. O'Fallon's K9 team is credited with saving countless work hours while making our community safer. Here's the story of two distinguished officers and their handlers.
So we're just going there to cover the officers.
May 29th at 12, 505, that's when the vehicle is inspected.
And he's going to search the outside of the vehicle. If there's any narcotics on the inside of the vehicle and it's strong enough, he'll pick it up from the outside. So, okay. But there's nothing, you guys, there's nothing back there. Anything I need to worry about?
O'Fallon Police K9, last opportunity. Announce yourself or you will be bit.
Meet K9 Eris and K9 Titan. Both dogs provide our police department with the assets of obedience, evidence recovery, suspect scent detection, agility, and suspect apprehension.
I'd say probably 98% of what we do is drug detection work. Searching cars on traffic stops. We help numerous other agencies in the county and sometimes out of the county, so we've been called out by the DEA, the Drug Task Force on search warrants.
We really try to be available for the officers, be available for when the K9 is going to be ready. But at the same, we still do the same patrol. We still go out, we patrol our neighborhoods, we still go out, we still make our traffic stops, still make our DWI arrests.
But most of the day I'm patrolling, he's with me right there. You know, I just potty breaks and, you know, get him out, run him around a little bit to stretch his legs, but he's here the whole shift.
Every day you learn to read your dog a little bit better. Every call, real call that you actually go on and you see the dog react to something, you're like, oh, I got it now, I understand. It's kind of like going to the police academy. They give you all the book knowledge and then you got to come out and you got to put it all together.
That bond just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and your dog trusts you. You know, he gives you 100% of his trust. He's there for you, and we learn to read our dogs. So part of that trust is we know what our dogs are thinking. We could see by their body language.
They're working for our affection, our love, our praise of, you know, that's a good boy, you're doing your job. And, you know, the big picture, he's going in, he's not collecting any paycheck. All he's doing is he's wanting some affection from us. So in my eyes, these guys are the true heroes. They're out here putting their lives on the line just like us.
Titan and Eris offer the same law enforcement functions, but each dog has a unique personality.
So his personality compared to K9 Eris is night and day. You have K9 Eris, a very extremely focused dog. And then you get K9 Titan out, very hyper, ready to go, and it's just channeling that energy into something. And you know, it kind of goes off the personality of the handler.
In 2012, Officer Thompson and K9 Eris won first place in the United States Police K9 Association Region 16 trials.
We belong to an organization called the United States Police K9 Association. It's the oldest nationally recognized organization in the United States, and that's where we go for our certification. The second half of that is our patrol dog trials. That's where we go and we show that we can certify in obedience, agility, scent detection for both articles and suspects, and then criminal apprehension. That's basically your dog biting somebody or catching a bad guy.
Officer Thompson and Eris will go on to compete in the Nationals this fall.
We're going to continue training hard up to that point and hopefully do well. It's nerve-wracking. There's going to be some experienced handlers there that have had multiple dogs, and he's a young dog, and to be under 2 years on the road and make it to that, it's going to be exciting.
It is a joke along the K9 programs that if the dogs could talk and drive a car, we'd be out of a job. They are just so intelligent. They use their nose. you know, I mean, it's a lot of training, but what they can do out here is just truly, truly amazing.
Beat the summer heat by visiting O'Fallon's Information Mecca. Here's Brett Figgis with more on the Mittendorf-Credell Library Branch.
Here in O'Fallon, we've dealt with heat waves and record summer temps, but there's still one great way to beat the heat, at the Mittendorf-Credell Library. Let's check it out. Mittendorf-Credell is an oasis where you can relax and find just the right book, document, or even DVD. Opened in 1995, this branch of the St. Charles County Library District offers over 190,000 items, like the latest bestsellers and the newest teen lit.
Mittendorf-Credell is the busiest branch in this library district. We, I think we do about 1 million per year just at this branch, checking out items. It's a community source, and I think that's really the direction we're all going. We're becoming a community center where people are going to congregate.
While this library has, well, just about everything, one of their increasingly popular specialties is their consumer health section, where visitors have access to up-to-date books, pamphlets, and research assistance from trained staff.
What's unique about this area is we broke away from the Dewey Decimal System and we made this more like a bookstore. And so we broke out the 13 most asked for health-related topics. And so like behind you, for example, is heart. And so it has books and pamphlets and magazines. Everything is like one-stop shopping. We also have an ongoing health programming partnership with our 2 local hospitals. Progress West Healthcare Center and Barnes Jewish St. Peter's come in and do 6 programs a month for us in our building, and it's everything from health screenings to doctor lectures to helmet fittings, a whole wide range of programming so that people can actually talk to a health expert and get the questions that they need answered.
One of our most popular sections of the library is the kids area. With colorful displays and pint-sized furniture, it really shows how much fun reading can be.
We have 3 different summer reading programs this year. One is for children. It's called Dream Big, and even babies can get involved. They have to read books and have books read to them. They can listen to the books.
This library also has an extensive government documents section, a collection that includes publications from all U.S. agencies.
We participate in the Federal Depository Library Program, which is a really neat thing, especially for public libraries. What it means is that every agency of the government produces information for its citizens, and so because we participate in the program, we get all those items for free. About 4 or 5 years ago, the U.S. Printing Office decided to go as paperless as possible, so much of the paper information that was coming in went digital. So the actual physical collection shrank down, and most of it is now connected to our catalog. We have over 30 or 40,000 documents on our catalog that just with a click you can get to, which physically opened up this room, which gave us the room to actually do programming in here and to connect real people with the resources.
It's not all dusty books here. Mittendorf-Credell is going digital with a huge selection of movies, music, and even video games.
We have music CDs, we have books on CD that you can listen to. Well, can't listen to them here, but you can check them out. We do have games. We have Wii games, and we're getting into Xbox. We do have on our website e-books and e-audiobooks that you can download. We do put our reserves out on the floor, kind of a self-service, so people can come right in and pick up their own reserves.
So if you want to get out this summer, head on over to your local library. Just don't forget your library card.
Help your community grow and prosper by getting involved in city government.
Are you interested in serving our community? The City of O'Fallon is always looking for residents to volunteer to serve on our committees and commissions. Resident participation results in a stronger and more responsive local government. O'Fallon has several boards and commissions that advise the City Council on policy issues before the Council makes its final decisions. Board and commission members are a critical part of our government. You can make a difference in your community and take a leadership role by volunteering to serve on a board or commission.
Especially with the Planning and Zoning Commission, you are seeing how the city is getting ready to grow. You see a subdivision or a commercial development or an industrial park come in before anybody else except the developer and city staff has even seen or knows that there's something coming in. So you are on the leading edge of what this city can be, will be, or could be.
I think it's a good idea for people to get involved and know what's going on in this city and to feel like they're taking an active part in working with, trying to do something favorable for the city. I have a very important goal in trying to make sure that we make the right decisions for the citizens and we take every applicant very serious.
We get to hear a lot of different thoughts and opinions on how things are done and how residents think they should be done, and some really good ideas, and be able to merge those together and give a voice to those citizens, to the elected representatives of the city and then the staff as well.
Attending one of O'Fallon's public meetings can help you decide if volunteering for a board or commission is right for you. O'Fallon is a beautiful city. It's recognized as one of the best places to live in the country. Our hard work and volunteers have helped make this city what it is today. So what are you waiting for? Get involved. Become a member of one of our boards and commissions.
I think the most I've learned is what open hearts everybody has in our community. I was totally amazed at the amount of people that do volunteer, and the hours they contribute to their community is just totally amazing.
If you would like more information on O'Fallon's boards and commissions, you can go to www.o'fallon.mo.us.
It's time for a break. When we return, we'll give you a few tips on staying safe in this record-breaking heat. Then we'll see what's new with O'Fallon's cutting-edge communications team. Stay with us for O'Fallon Matters.
The city of O'Fallon is known as one of the top places to live in the country, and the safety of its citizens is a top priority for the O'Fallon Police Department. Our officers are thriving to keep our neighborhoods safe, and so can you. Help the O'Fallon Police keep your neighborhood protected by enrolling in the Neighborhood Watch program. Neighborhood Watch is a crime prevention program that enlists the active participation of citizens and cooperation with law enforcement to reduce crime in our communities. Citizens will learn ways to recognize suspicious activity and techniques to prevent crime. Remember, you can make a difference in the safety of your community. Another way to join forces with O'Fallon Police in fighting crime is to participate in the National Night Out. This event is about getting the community together with law enforcement for a night out against crime. Whether it's an ice cream social, barbecue, or your own neighborhood parade, the valued officers of the O'Fallon Police Department will show up at your event. National Night Out will be on October 2nd, but don't wait around. Call the O'Fallon Police Department today and schedule your National Night Out event or to enroll in the Neighborhood Watch program. For more information, call 636-379-5689 or visit www.o'fallon.mo.us/PD.
Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. O'Fallon's reputation as a safe city is no accident. It starts with the leadership of the police department on down through the rank and file. I had the chance to talk with Police Chief Roy Jochimsthaler to get his thoughts on the safest city around. Kind of give me an idea of the contrast from where you came from. You came from the city of St. Louis. Kind of contrast what kind of a culture shock you have, or a comparison between the two departments and how you had to run them.
Well, you know, and it wasn't so much a culture shock. I guess the hardest part that I had coming here was geography, is knowing, you know, from being so long down in the city of St. Louis and knowing all the streets and working throughout the city down there. When I'd hear a call come out, I'd know what area it was from or specifically where it was. Coming out here, it was as it was coming to a brand new city and not knowing any of the any of the streets. So.
In some cases you'd hear a call, know the house and the people who are living there.
Well, you know, in the old days, certainly, and it's never a good sign when a police commander knows your house and where and the people that live there. But in saying that, what I started doing here and continue to do all the way till today is, if I don't have any meetings scheduled, like in the afternoon, I'll take some time out and just start driving different neighborhoods. And I did that down there when I was assigned to South St. Louis that I wasn't familiar with. So I taken that idea out here and would drive different neighborhoods just to get the feel of the neighborhood and try to get to know the streets.
Yeah. So you were used to the city of St. Louis. How long were you there?
Well, if you count all my time there, it was just short of 40 years with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
Okay, and did you start there?
Yeah, yes, that was my only job. I graduated from high school in June of 1969. Wow. In November of 1969, I started on the police department there.
Okay. The size of a police force that you have there is vastly different. I know the type of person you are, you seem to want to get to know everybody. Yeah. That you're in charge of. Little different scale.
Yeah, it is. But the O'Fallon Police Department has some very talented officers. Although there was a lot more officers in the city of St. Louis, the O'Fallon Police Department has the same type of officers that want to do a good job, officers that are really dedicated to serving the community. Although O'Fallon is a smaller police department, it's and now it's going to sound like I'm biased, of course, because I'm the chief out here. Right. But this police department is just as good as the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, and I'm not trying to patronize anyone. All I'm saying is the officers out here and the talent that we have, I would run it up against any police department in this area, including my old police department.
What attracted you to the field in the first place?
Well, I'm the third son of 3 brothers, and I'm the youngest. And both of my older brothers went into police work. We were all 5 years apart, so when I was like 10 and 11 years old, my oldest brother was on the Los Angeles Police Department. The middle brother started here in St. Louis, and then he eventually moved to Los Angeles and joined the police department out there. The middle brother was here as a police officer in St. Louis and then moved to Los Angeles. So I had 2 older brothers, especially in those formative years, that were police officers. And when you sit around listening to the stories and listening to what a police officer does, it just caught us. Now, my father was a bus driver, so it didn't start with my father or our father. It started with my older brother, and he got out of the service out west and ended up joining the LAPD. But when you're in those formative years, and it's just something that caught on that this is what I wanted to do. I wasn't interested at all in any federal law enforcement like the FBI or anything like that. I wanted to be a police officer working in the city police department, and that's what I worked for all through high school. You know how some young people will change what they want to do throughout life. Once I reached high school, I knew what I wanted to do, and I was able to follow that dream, and it's been a dream, and it's, you know what, it's still a dream.
What do you think your leadership style is?
You know, it's a very good question, and when we talk about my experience and starting from the very lowest as a police cadet and going through every rank, you know, you learn from different leaders, different managers that you've worked for throughout your career. Here's the basis of my leadership style. It's the F word, and that's fairness. When I came into the O'Fallon Police Department from where I was, I knew coming in here that these officers were going to judge me by not only my police experience, but also how I manage the entire police department. And one of the things that was important to me when I was going through the ranks was that the bosses that I worked for were fair. I might not always agree with them. And in fact, my career, many times I didn't agree with the boss. But if that person was fair and fair to everyone, it made a difference to me. Look, it's not important to me to reinforce to folks that I'm the chief of police. Heck, you can look at me and see that I'm the chief of police.
It's something about those birds on your shoulder.
I got the birds, I got the gold badge, you know, you can just glance at me and say, hey, that guy must be the chief of police. Right. So I don't need to reinforce that with my personnel. What I need to do is give them direction and give them some authority and ability to make some decisions for themselves. You know, with all my experience, I still feel that a police officer that's riding patrol, that's riding a sector, that's riding those neighborhoods, knows how to do the job better than I do. Because it's been a long time since I was in that car working that neighborhood.
So how do you think this has been going so far? I mean, this change from one area to the other?
Yeah, I don't get to see many of the folks that I worked with for all those years, but every once in a while I'll see somebody socially and they ask that question all the time. My answer to it is I've gotten used to the pace out here. And to also let them know that, you know, the city of O'Fallon has 80,000 people in it now.
It's a legitimate city.
It certainly is, and with a legitimate city comes some problems in dealing with law enforcement. So although this is a fantastic community, we do not have a crime problem. We do have some spikes in some areas that we address regularly, that we have a system of crime analysis, that we look at patterns and things like that. But this isn't a small town community anymore.
It's still a professional police force,
you know,
and a very talented one at that.
You know, and that's what, when we do see those anomalies come up, when there be a major incident that should occur, and although it doesn't occur that often, people should be very, very satisfied that they have a police department that not only knows how to handle it, they handle it the right way, and since I've been here, there's not been a major event or crime that hasn't been cleared by arrest. Now, we want to try to prevent crime before it occurs, but the people should always be very, very content that they have a police department that knows how to handle it. If those, when those anomalies occur, that you have a police department that's very responsive and they know what they're doing.
Here are some tips to keep you protected from the oppressive summer heat.
Three of the most common heat-related illnesses we come in contact with are heat cramps, where just because of overuse of the muscle and people are sweating too much and losing salt. Then we come to heat exhaustion, which is where people become sweating too much, they're overcome by the heat, they get some nausea, some vomiting. And lastly is heat stroke, which is life-threatening, and that is when the body can no longer cool itself. They quit sweating, their skin is hot and dry to the touch, and that is a life-threatening injury. For all of these heat-related illnesses, the biggest thing to do is to get them out of the environment they're in and move them to a shady area and start cooling them down. But once people start cramping up, we try to give them some fluids, perhaps a sports drink. When we get to heat exhaustion, what you'll see is people who are sweating profusely, they'll complain of some headaches, some nausea, they may have vomited. And for those people, we obviously move them to a cool place. We'll lie them down, raise their feet, elevate them, maybe put them on a pillow or a bench or something like that. And we can cool them with some water ice packs on their neck, under their arms, in their groin, places where the blood flows close to, and the artery is close to a bone. It's a place where you get a pulse. And then, of course, the most dangerous of all is when people have been exposed for prolonged periods of times out in the sun, and now their body is no longer sweating. They can't cool themselves down. Their skin becomes red and hot to the touch. and that is a true life-threatening emergency. You need to call 911 right away. Those people need to be moved into a cool environment, and when we cool them, we don't lay them down. We want to put them kind of in a semi-reclining position because we don't want that blood to rush to their head right away, but we're going to start cooling them by putting cold rags, ice packs under their armpits, in their groin, on their neck, places where we can start cooling the blood pretty quickly on their ankles. If they begin to shiver, when they start shivering, that's your body's way to manufacture heat. So we want to kind of step back a little bit and slow that process back down so they're not generating heat, being counterproductive. In closing, I'd just like to say that people can enjoy the summer months even though the heat and humidity is extremely high, just by practicing some basic common sense principles. Obviously, stay out of the heat as long as possible, drink plenty of fluids, keep hydrated, work outdoors in the early morning hours or late at night. If you don't have air conditioning, try to find a place that does have it. You can go to a library, to the mall, go see a movie until your air conditioning can get fixed. And also make sure you have fans running to move air within the house. And the biggest thing, if you have 2 levels, the lower level is always the coolest place in the house, so go to the basement if that's where you can spend your time.
Our O'Fallon communication team is on a mission to keep residents informed with all city information. Here's Joe Meyer with more.
The City of O'Fallon's award-winning communications team continues to provide our residents with excellent government communication.
Our goal as the communications department is to get the word out about what's going on with the city in as many possible ways as we can. So we have a couple ways of doing that. The first and our most popular way is our website. We have, over 100,000 unique users for our website on any, given time period. The other thing that people see a lot that they know us by is our newsletter, our printed newsletter, which goes out quarterly. That's a great way to get the word out about things and what's going on, and it gives a lot of detail. The only problem with it is we only do 4 a year, so it is limited. So what we try to do then from our standpoint is supplement that in other ways. The 24-hour TV channel is another great way, OFallonTV. And we use that to first broadcast all of our meetings, but also to get announcements out and then to profile things that are going on around the city and all the shows that we do. So that's available in 3 different ways. It's available on demand on our website. It's available through Charter on channel 991. And pretty soon it'll also be available on AT&T Uverse, which is another great way to get it out.
Residents can also get City of O'Fallon information through social media.
We have our electronic newsletter, which we send out about weekly, and that helps supplement the printed newsletter that we talked about. We also have Twitter and YouTube that are great ways to get the word out about what's going on as well. We're really excited because we're working right now on developing a new city website. That is our primary means of communication with our residents. It's our home for everything, including OFallonTV. So the website that we have right now is done real well for us, but it's about 5 years old. And some of the technology that it was built on is now getting close to being out of date. So we're building an entirely new website with a whole new content management system that really is going to become the focal point for everything we do going forward. We're really proud to announce that we won the IABC Bronze Quill Award this year. And IABC is an international organization for business and communications. And we applied for the award for our Smoke Free O'Fallon campaign that we did after the residents voted in the no smoking ordinance last year. We wanted to really show the positive aspects of it, so we took it and we turned it into a full communications campaign that involved everyone within our department. It involved the communication staff at OFallonTV, who did PSAs and commercials promoting the ordinance. We did the printed newsletter, we did our website, we created a web page that was kind of a center point for all the businesses to go and get information on. And then we followed that up with ads actually promoting the local restaurants as smoke-free alternatives in compared to maybe some surrounding communities. And we were really excited to find out that we won the Award of Excellence, which is the highest award available. And the really cool thing about it from our standpoint is we were going up against some of the best advertising agencies, some of the biggest companies in the St. Louis metro area. So this is an award that puts us against literally the very best of our peers around the city. And for us to win it, it was a great honor, and we're very excited about it.
For more information on the City of O'Fallon's communications team, you can go to www.o'fallon.mo.us or check out www.o'fallon.mo.us/OFallonTV.
We hope you enjoyed the show. If you have a story idea, let us know. Send an email to o'fallontv@o'fallon.mo.us. Remember to give back to your community because O'Fallon matters to all of us.